because I heard this on the AP this morning, that McDonald's was being forced to lower its prices or to cut back on employees because of inflation has made it too hard for people to eat at McDonald's. And this is completely counterintuitive, or at least it just struck me as weird, because when things get more expensive, McDonald's is generally the beneficiary. God bless you. Because instead of eating at Outback Steakhouse or, Fuddruckers or whatever it is, we're going to go out to McDonald's tonight with the kids. That's generally what happens. Dean Baker had a piece. NPR tells us McDonald's is a victim of inflation. They're losing customers to inflation, is what the headline said on All Things Considered. The gist of the piece is that the economy is so bad that people can no longer afford to eat at McDonald's. And now the company is being forced to lower its prices. Incredibly, Dean Baker writes, the piece never once mentions the company's profits. They went from $11.18 billion in the year ending December 2019, before the pandemic, to $14.69 billion the year ending March, an increase of more than 31%. That compares to an overall inflation rate of 21% over this period.
Did they increase their prices during that period? Does it say? And then are they decreasing it to go back to levels as we see the CPI basically return to pre-pandemic levels?
That's probably more likely what they did. They ramped up their prices because they could. I mean, look, I'm going shopping for a used car for my daughter now. We're going in halvesies. And I was talking to a guy at, I go to like small dealers, not like, full-on dealers. And the guy's like, right now it's just price gouging. Because he said, like, all the chips.
You're playing the game called capitalism.
All the chips that they needed for new cars came in, a year or two ago. They've been producing the new cars, and they're just keeping their prices up because people get used to them. And they're like, okay, fine. That's what the price of a car is, and people accept it. This is all about price elasticity, folks. And what provides that price elasticity? Credit cards. And that's why you're seeing consumer debt go up. And to the extent that prices are coming down, it's basically just because I think on some level, people just got sick of paying high prices and reacted to it. Credit card debt got too big. And the Biden administration has been starting to crack down and, essentially letting Lena Khan, loose. And everybody, I think there's a lot of people who are afraid of wait, are we going to get caught in some type of price fixing scheme? So that's what's happening. And
I mean,
there was no doubt that inflation happened for real, but that the question was, what was driving it? Mm-hmm. Was it that people had excess money and the price of goods went up? Or was it that you had supply lines disrupted? It made the price go up. People could afford it on some level because there was government funding, and people needed to buy this stuff, and the stuff cost that amount. And then everybody jacked up prices because they thought they could get away with it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it reminds me of those reports about how crime and shoplifting is on the rise. Trust us, Target. And we're going to disseminate this to a credible press that will report that, hey, Target is saying that shoplifting and all this crime and theft is really damaging their profits. And then you look into it, and it's because they made poor calculations about where to put stores and things like that. And yet the narrative had already been set for months before there was any real investigation into the numbers. And I think, until the official numbers were released. And these corporations know that, so they can blame broader trends for their own actions. And then in 6 months, when we get the reality about the trends, whether it be inflation or whether it be crime, it's already fine. They've already given their shareholders a bedtime story.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.